Wow. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I did one of these videos. So you've seen the title. Basically, I asked you guys on Instagram to submit your controversial, unpopular Disney opinions. I'm gonna go through and react to them now. So there's kind of a few sections of these. Should I take this off? This is annoying. So there's 3 main sections of opinions I kind of found. One's related to the films and characters, then some related to the parks, and finally one's around Disney culture and generally and influences and stuff like that. So we're gonna start with the general ones about films and characters because you guys kind of popped off. Also, yes, I got fully dressed up and put my ears on today because I just needed a reason to put ears on. I love these ears so much, they are new, but I can't wear them until August, fingers crossed, when I go to Disneyland Paris, which actually opens a month today, so catch me booking a last minute trip to opening weekend. Start at the very beginning. I haven't organised these, by the way. I'm just going to go through and kind of read them out. Okay, I absolutely hate the movie Lilo and Stitch. I feel like I don't hate it. I definitely don't think Stitch should be everywhere like he is. He's definitely an overrated character, and actually a bunch of you did say you don't like Stitch. So I feel like that's not as unpopular as people maybe think. It's just that Stitch gets kind of rammed down our throats so much that it makes you feel like he's on this iconic level with Mickey and Minnie, but really he's not, and we need to kind of tone it down a little bit. Also, I'm dreading the Stitch live action list of things I don't need to see. Number 1, Lilo and Stitch live action. I prefer the remake of Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast to the original animated movie. That is a bit of a hot take. I feel like they're both amazing in their own way, but I will say in recent years I definitely find myself gravitating more towards the live action ones. I don't know if that's just because I'm older. They are so magical, but I don't want to take away from the fact that the originals are incredible as well. I'd be interested to see what you think about that, so comment down below kind of your reactions and opinions. But yeah, I kind of agree, which feels very controversial. Someone said Cars movies, math icon thingy, Toy Story movies. Absolutely not. The Toy Story movies are iconic. Maybe 4, not as much, but they have so many amazing characters. Everyone knows Woody and Buzz. I feel like if you said Lightning McQueen and Mater to someone who wasn't an 8-year-old boy during the time that the Cars movies came out, a lot of people probably wouldn't know, even within the Disney fandom, what you're talking about. Pixar is making better movies than Disney at the moment. Honestly, this is my hot take. I don't think either of them are doing that great since Frozen 2. That's just how I feel. I think Soul was really good and hard-hitting, but will I watch it over and over again? No. Onward was sweet, but it felt more like a DreamWorks movie to me. Raya I did love, but I feel like it's never going to be getting that recognition and have that resonance in pop culture just because of the whole like Disney Plus release. But yeah, I don't feel like any of the movies are kind of living up to the ones we just got with Tangled, Frozen, Frozen 2. They really had a whole string of really amazing movies, and I feel like they're not as good anymore, but they're still not bad. They're just not as iconic as they were. Hopefully that changes. Someone else said Disney can't make good movies anymore, only making cash grab live actions that suck. That's quite a harsh point. They are still good movies, they're just not as good as they were. I'm gonna put it at that. And the live actions have definitely been toned down a bit. I feel like most of them are gonna go straight to Disney Plus now, so you don't have to worry about them putting like all their efforts into the live action ones and ignoring the animated ones and original stories. People ignore how great Figment is. I know you'll disagree, absolutely. I don't need to cover that in this video. Figment is trash, and I will always think that. Nothing you say will change my mind. When I was working at Epcot, I really wanted to have some cool Epcot merchandise to take home, but everything had Figment on it and it ruined everything. Cinderella 2 was a great sequel, absolutely. Fun story actually, when I was young we had the DVD for Cinderella 2 and it's called Cinderella 2 Dreams Come True, but the 2 is written like Roman numerals, like 1-1, so I read it as Cinderella 11 Dreams Come True, and I was watching it like, I'm only seeing like 4 dreams come true max here. Obviously Anastasia and the baker, Jack, and then Cinderella, maybe Prince Charming at a push, and I was like, where are the other 5 dreams? Wasn't very educated as a child. I just watched the Disney movies. I really don't like Winnie the Pooh. That's really sad for you and unfortunate, and I feel really bad for you that you don't appreciate Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore and Tigger in your life, because they're some of my favourite characters. Obviously me and my friends, we kind of have assigned ourselves to each character. I'm going back to the 100 Acre Wood in a few weeks time. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm sorry for you, to be honest. Snow White, Aurora and Cinderella are the worst princesses. They have no personality and no girl power. Okay, this is a little bit harsh. I will admit that Snow White doesn't really have a ton of agency. She just kind of flees the castle when she's told to. Aurora falls asleep for most of the movie. But Cinderella, she chases her dream. Yes, it's not a typical feminist dream in that, you know, it's a guy, it's a ball, but she does what she wants to do. She sets out and achieves her dream. That's girl power in a way, isn't it? And I feel like the thing of no personality as well, Snow White yeah, I'll give you that one. But when I've been rewatching all the classics over the last year, Aurora and Cinderella actually have a lot of sass. So if you feel like that, I feel like maybe you just haven't watched the movie super recently and should go back and give it a second try. Peter Pan and Mary Poppins are both boring movies. So that person's gonna be blocked. They also said they love Figment. So I'm sorry, you are not welcome here anymore. Tangled was good, but not as good as everyone says. I really don't like when people rat on things like they're overhyped, they're not as good as people say, because there's a reason they have this kind of level of attention and fandom around them. It's because they're popular, and something being popular maybe doesn't mean it's necessarily good, but I feel like it's having value for a lot of people. So just let those people live and have a fun time, but also you're wrong, because Tangled is amazing and I feel like it's actually better than people say. I know people talk about the lantern scene all the time as proof, but watch the village scene when they were like dancing around. It's amazing. The latest princesses are far better than the original trio. So this kind of comes back to the previous point around Snow White, Cinderella and Aurora. So I'm guessing the new ones would be Rapunzel, Moana and Tiana, because obviously Anna and Elsa are queens. I feel like, yes, I prefer them, but they haven't proved themselves yet in terms of like their longevity, and the original trio were probably that iconic at their time, so we can't really like think of it out of context. I think they are better now, but they've been made now, so it's kind of unfair to judge them side by side, just because obviously society progresses, Disney progresses, and that's why we have these better princesses. Animal Disney films are better than the princess human Disney films. Absolutely categorically disagree. When I've been rewatching all of the Disney films over the last year during, you know, lockdown, quarantine, everything, I hate the animal films. Like most of them, I'm watching them like, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. There are some of them that are cute. Can't think of any off the top of my head, but most of the time they just drag. And I just can't get invested in them like I can the human films. Yeah, there's no magic there, it's just an animal. But I'm not an animal person, so maybe that's the most unpopular thing I'm gonna say today. A lot of ones, people basically just saying what films they don't like, and that's fair. Like, not everyone has to love every single film Disney puts out, apart from Frozen 2. Let's move on to the parks ones, because I feel like these are gonna get a little bit juicy. Oh, before I do though, Frozen isn't overrated, The Lion King is a bit though. I agree. Dole Whip isn't worth the hype, and someone else just said Dole Whip, throw up face. But okay, so Dole Whip is a fun time, but it is at the end of the day pineapple soft serve. There's nothing revolutionary about it. It's more the aesthetic that it's served in Adventureland. It's a fun time, but when people wear Dole Whips on a shirt and everything, I'm just like, really? It's not that exciting. I don't think Splash Mountain should change. Tiana deserves her own attraction. Yeah, when this first was announced, that's kind of what I said. Like, this is so incredible that they are getting rid of, obviously, the Song of the South trash element from Splash Mountain, and it's amazing they are replacing it with a strong black woman, but she deserved her own attraction long ago. We needed to have a Tiana's Place yesterday, but if we were going to reimagine Splash Mountain in any way, I can't think of a better one than with Princess and the Frog going in there. Fingers crossed we'll get more Tiana stuff along the way. But also Rapunzel. I know she has the bathrooms, but that is nothing. We deserve an attraction. And then someone else said the Splash Mountain renovation is very unnecessary. This I do disagree with. Absolutely take the trash out. Let's redo it. We're going to keep the same ride system, so you can still have a fun time if you're really that triggered by it. Put in your headphones, listen to Zippity Doo Dah, maybe watch a ride through and just, you know, experience it that way. But yeah, it needs to go. I never really liked Splash Mountain anyway, because I don't really like getting wet on rides. But if Tiana's in it, I will be going and I will be queuing and I will wear my rain poncho and I will endure. There's too much Star Wars in studios. So when I was working at Hollywood Studios in 2017, it was Star Wars park. Basically, we had the stormtroopers marching down Hollywood Boulevard, we had the Star Wars show basically every hour, we had the Jedi training, we had Star Tours. Like, it was a bit of an overwhelming experience. I think they've toned it down a little bit now, so we don't have the stormtrooper march and all of that. It's more reserved to Galaxy's Edge, so I feel like it's got better. Maybe this person hasn't been recently, so they don't know. Obviously I haven't been either, so I can't fully judge, but I do feel like they are starting to get the balance right again and having it more be like an overall park rather than just being like, you must come to this park because Star Wars is there. But yeah, they definitely went over the top with it. Stitch's Great Escape should have been saved. Why? There's a bird on my window. Sorry, I just closed that window because the bird was just kind of hanging out. I didn't want to see it, so that's why the lighting has just changed, but this looks better anyway, so maybe I should have done it the whole time. Will they refilm? No, let's move on. Hollywood Studios is crap since they got rid of Streets of America, apart from Tower of Terror, Fantasmic, and Indiana Jones. That's a hot take and it's incorrect. Spaceship Earth is overrated. I was actually talking to my friend Fee about this last night because obviously it was supposed to be renovated. I feel like that's been cancelled now. And I'm kind of happy about it because I don't want to lose Judi Dench in that attraction. She's iconic. Overrated? I don't know. It never has longer than like a 40-minute wait. So can that really be counted as overrated? I love it. It's comforting. It's a great time. It's a great space to have some downtime when you had a really busy day. I have snuck my Starbucks on there on occasion and just kind of sat back, closed my eyes, and enjoyed. She's like my new cup, by the way. It's like a really cute confetti style cup. It's a Small World needs to be replaced. That's wrong. That is one of those attractions that I feel like should just not be touched. I guess in the way of like Disneyland when they put in the kind of characters as the dolls, the little updates, that's fine. But Small World, it is integral to Disney's identity. It is one of those attractions that we just need to keep forever. Everyone should have to endure going on It's a Small World at least once in their life and not being able to get out of their head for the rest of the day. That's just how it works. That's just part of park admission. You can skip DAC, especially during COVID. I'm sorry, have you been to Pandora? Have you done the Kilimanjaro Safari? Have you been on Expedition Everest? And why during COVID as well? Because you can see all the animals outside, so surely that's a good reason to visit. Like, what is not there? Oh, I guess the musicals, so like Nemo, Lion King, they're not there. Although Lion King is back now in some kind of adapted format. I don't see why you would say this. I don't understand. I'm gonna need more clarification on this. People Mover and Carousel of Progress are the best rides in Tomorrowland. I agree. You're not gonna have any resistance here. Space Mountain is due a renovation. It kind of hurts when I go on it. Bounces me around a lot. Hall of Presidents should be replaced by Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. I'm gonna adapt your opinion just a little bit and say Hall of Presidents should be replaced. Okay, now let's move on to the Disney culture ones. I feel like they're going to be the most interesting and maybe juicy. Someone said, Disney ruined the DCP with the new changes all because they are desperate for employees. I will just say if I was eligible right now, I would not do the Disney College program just because you can't choose your role firstly and such a variety of roles you can get. So like getting the role of custodian is a completely different experience to merchandise. It's completely different to quick service. It's completely different to character attendant. And the fact that it's all kind of just up in the air and you don't even know for a couple weeks before you arrive is not the one. And all the focus is going to be on cleaning, and from what I've seen, people who are working there right now aren't enjoying it. So I wouldn't want to do it and kind of taint the overall experience. If I did have a program before, I wouldn't go back personally, but it's exciting that it's back and it's like a great step in the right direction. I am excited though for anyone who's vlogging the new DCP because I would love to watch that and see Flamingo Crossing. That's really exciting. If it's your last time to be able to do a DCP, maybe go for it, but otherwise I would hit a pause on that. You can be a massive Disney fan even if you can't go to the parks or have barely been. Absolutely agree. I feel like parks are kind of a flex culture thing, so people are almost proving their love for Disney by going all the time. It's not the most important thing and you can still really admire and love the parks, but also just kind of be more focused on the movies and the characters and the TV shows. It is obviously part of being a Disney fan for a lot of people. I feel like I would rather only go to the parks than only watch the movies. Brings the experiences to life, but for a lot of people that's just not financially viable. Disney influencers should only stick to covering Disney, not politics or global events. It's very interesting that the person who submitted this, I went on their profile and they don't follow me and they only have 5 followers. So I feel like they've gone on like a Finsta account to submit this, which means they're potentially ashamed of the opinion. Obviously I completely disagree with this because we cannot exist in a bubble, in the Disney bubble, because there is a real world out there and things matter and you should be speaking out, especially if you have a platform with thousands of people. You not speaking out on important issues is just ignorant, and I would unfollow, and I have unfollowed, influencers who chose to stay silent on really important days and during really key events like the election, Black Lives Matter, all these things. If someone's not posting anything, they're just going to Epcot being like, oh, look at this new treat, look at this new pin. I don't want to follow that person. I don't admire them, and they should be using their voice for good. Maybe they are not completely educated on the matter, but they can still kind of share links to resources and ways that people can learn about it. People who are just like one strict thing of Disney and don't post anything else, that's just dull to me as well, and like a one personality trait person. We should all be more fleshed out than that. Someone actually did say further down that Disney influencers should speak out on social issues. So it's definitely a debate, a topic. If something matters to you, it doesn't matter what you normally post. If you are someone who only posts about Mickey Mouse ears or Harry Potter fanfics or whatever you post about, when these key things come up in the world and you have influence, you need to be sharing. People always dunk on childless millennials, but it's the conservative guests that ruin people's days. And someone said the DCP doesn't look as diverse as it should be and it makes me worry. I did do a kind of overall video about the DCP being problematic a couple years back, and I spoke briefly about my thoughts on this, but I will say that things like the DCP, it's kind of a vicious circle. So the people who often do it are quite white, middle class, a lot of kind of basic white girls, and then they post about it a lot on social media, and then that attracts the same kind of people. So if only those kind of voices are amplified, people of color or people from other backgrounds aren't necessarily going to see themselves represented, and they're not going to be as inclined maybe to apply because they feel like they would stick out. So yeah, I feel like there needs to be more of an effort to be more diverse in the hiring, but also more just in like the promotion of it. And also us as consumers of content, we need to really kind of raise up and encourage voices from other backgrounds, and just not always kind of validating and glamorizing and raising up the same kind of people, because a lot of the influencers all look the same. There are some people actually that I get confused. I'm like, oh, I thought that was this person, because they look so similar. Okay, that is all the opinions I'm going to share for now. Obviously there were so many more. I tried to kind of cover as many as I could without this video being too long. If you enjoyed it, even if you disagree with the opinions, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, obviously like I said, your thoughts relating to these kind of opinions, and subscribe for more content, and let me know any other kind of sit down Disney videos you'd like me to do, because I haven't done them in so long, and I know they used to be some of my favorites. So if you would like to see more of those, I'm very open to suggestions. Whatever you want to do, and I'll try to get the lighting a little bit more stable next time. It's my first time back doing it, and I don't have my ring light or anything like that, so we're out here doing our best. Thank you so much for watching, and I hopefully will see you in the next one. Bye!